Hotep, peace, shalom, assalamu alaikum, namaste, konnichiwa, um, muy bien. Um, to those who I've missed or I've overlooked, please forgive me. I have Brother Latif with me, and I have Brother Anu with me. And tonight, what we're going to be discussing and addressing is the resurrection of Osiris using electromagnetic energy by the Great Mother. So, Brother Latif and Brother Anu, welcome to the cipher.
Peace.
Well, as I stated, what we're going to discuss is the resurrection of Osiris um, by the Great Mother. And one of the things that why I think it's important for us to um, focus on this situation with the resurrection in particular is because it has become a global understanding, and this is where we're going to attempt to try to find some form of common ground. And another thing is when we look at world heroes, oftentimes when we talk about a hero, it's referring, of course, to the god Heru. um, but it's also, focused on a male entity. And very often we overlook the female presence and the contributions that women um, have made to the change in evolution, the evolutionary process of humanity, and the revolutions as well. Many women across the planet in different cultures and ethnic backgrounds. One thing that they have in common is that womanhood. Um, People, when we define womanhood, let's just be honest here. Okay. X marks the spot. Okay. And with that being said, if you're born with a split between your legs, that makes you, that definitely makes you a female. That represents the essence of womanhood right there. Okay. Now, for you to develop and grow into that womanhood, that is a horse of a different color. But that X, it marks a spot and it represents the female divine entity, energy, presence, and existence. Okay. So we want to make that clear. I'm going to hand it over to Brother Latif and let him engage in the cipher. Brother Latif.
When we talk about the resurrection of Osiris and the Greek mother's participation and resurrecting him after he was cut up into the pieces by Set and was spread across various uh, parts of the earth. And when we talk about the resurrection through the electromagnetic energy, this is where you would get your Frankenstein type of story of bringing a being back to life or constructing something and making it have life in it through electromagnetic energy. They got it from the story of Osiris. And when we talk about the electromagnetic energy that was used, it had to be powerful. And then the shocks and the vibration is sent through the body to to give him the power to conceive the God he ruled.
Like when you, I guess, like when you saying like when you're going through cardiac arrest and they attempt to use the devices and they put the devices, close to the warmth to the body, and these devices are used to transform the energy from one essence to another, and to generate and cultivate and shock that essence of life. So I mean, I guess I definitely understand what you're saying when you're talking about Frankenstein. I never really looked at it from that perspective, but because we talk about the Bride of Frankenstein as well, and that may be very well true. All of these stories are coming from this essence of the resurrection of beings, this past life and presence. Um, with Frankenstein, they use a lot of energy to attempt to bring him back in to life. And what was the name of that story, the thing that we used to watch on television? The uh, Monsters and the Addams Family. Those were like, I guess the creepy weirdo type bringing life back, from the dead type of thing. Um, but I have to agree totally with Brother Latif. And another reason why I think this video is important and vital is because, as I stated before, we want to ensure that we talk about the contributions that women have made to life itself. Okay, we talk about the Black man being God, um, the essence of the Black man being the supreme being. Well, if the Black man is the supreme being, and if we have believers out there who honestly believe that, then if the Black man is God and he is an entity um, of energy, you know, and this Black woman is a part of, they're a part of each other, then that makes her God as well. And anything that they give life to and they create has a godlike presence and energy and being. So when we talk about the Black man being God, we cannot say the Black man is God and deny that the Black woman is God as well. Now, when we look back in our ancient ancestral history, and we look at the nine gods that are, partaking on the solar bark, we see that the gods are not just male energies and entities, that there are two diverse entities in different forms, both, taking this solar bark. So, when it comes down to, the spiritual realm, a spirit, it really, it's energy, and energy um, is not defined by gender. Okay, so we want to get beyond the physical realm and go off into more of an astrological, universal, and a spiritual realm. Now, when we talk about religion and we talk about um, Christianity, we talk about Islam and these various religious beliefs. Bottom line is they're all having one origin and derivation, which is spirituality, which is ancient uh, Kemetic spirituality, ancient Cushite spirituality, ancient Nubian spirituality, ancient Kemetic spirituality. Okay. So there is no denial in the fact that people of color, dark, burnt skinned people, went all around the planet and helped civilize. And in the essence of their civilization, they brought with them an essence of spirituality. Now, what that society or those civilizations did with it and how they may have transformed it and reiterated it, that's upon them. Then we have those like Aristotle, Plato, Socrates, um, Herodotus, people who came from other lands and visited in these ancient, profound lands and still considered wondrous right now to this day. When they visited, they were so influenced by the system that was already in place, which they did not have in many forms, that when they went back to their homelands, they were so inspired and influenced by them, they took with them some of the things that they had learned from these various burnt skin cultures. Okay? So it's evident, it is obvious throughout history where a lot of the outside foreigners would come in. They would be so amazed and fascinated by the profound intellectual capabilities of these burnt skin people that they would take whatever they learned and they would begin their own concepts, their own ideologies, their own perceptions. So we want to their own philosophies. Okay, but the origins of their inspiration dwell within the burnt skin people. Okay, that is something I think that is 2022. I think we can all pretty much agree that when we look at the diverse geographical locations, we have gathered whatever information that has been left from these previous histories, these previous dynasties, these previous deities, and we have come to find that what is left of that, it shows that there was a presence of the burnt skin people all over the planet that is undeniable. Okay, again, we have the golden tongue. The golden tongue is seen so many times throughout history. We have the golden tongue where they're begging Asar to have an opportunity to come from the underworld into the realm of back to the realm of mortals, of back to the realm of the living where we all reside and exist at this point. Okay, they wish they had the opportunity that we have currently. And also, we see the golden tongue when we look around at ancient civilizations like the Aztec, the Mayans, the Asians, all over the world. You in North America, South America, Africa, wherever you prefer. And when we talk about Set and the Great Mother having to collect, these various parts of Osiris' body and Osiris's body, and trying to bring him back to life and to resurrect him. First, he's in order for something to be brought back to life, it has to first be dead. So that is an essence of the crucifixion. Okay, spiritual death. Okay, um when we talk about these when we talk about these different pieces of the body of a saw, we're talking about the continents and the earth. We're talking about the various corners of the world she went to collect whatever information she needed and collect whatever she needed to bring all the energy she needed to bring together to bring him back to life and to resurrect him. So she had to travel to these diverse geographical locations. So when we talk about the body of Osar being brought back to life, that is an essence of the way that the earth is has been shattered. The shattering of our beloved has been broken into so many pieces. Okay? Broken into so many pieces. It has been shattered, and the resurrection is a representation of a collective spiritual inclination and empowerment. Uh, uh, it is also a representation of your mental empowerment and the resurrection of the mind, the resurrection of your ancient understanding and concepts of, your um, paying homage and respect to those great ones that gave you the life and everything that you have in our present day society, paying homage to the earth, which is the planet that gives you life. Okay. um, it's dealing with the self-destructive behavior that is being perpetuated throughout society that is contributing to the destruction of mankind on a collective scale, because we have a global humanitarian crisis going on here. We have a human consumption crisis going on here, and it's contributing to the downfall of man. Okay. So here you have the great mother who shows compassion, whose nature is to show compassion and love and generosity. Her nature is to help her son, her beloved. Her nature is to try to do everything she can in her power to resurrect the dead, resurrect him spiritually, resurrect him mentally, emotionally. Because as the brother Latif stated, you know, you're in a dead state. And the love of the great mother, we have people who are intimidated and fear the essence of a woman coming into leadership power and in leadership roles. But in the essence of Osset being in a role of leadership, she does not leave the man there laying dead. She looks at her beloved laying there, lifeless, and the first thing she wants to do is she wants to breathe life into him. She wants to resurrect him. She wants to bring him back. Okay? That's the nature of the great mother. Okay? That's the nature of her when it comes down to her son. That's the nature of her when it comes down to her husband. That's the nature of her when it comes down to her brother. That is the nature of it when it comes down to her and the nigger, which is the golden child, the golden son egg. Okay. So we have to understand that there's a major fear here. There is a fear, and it's not just a fear with one ethnic background. When it comes down to women being influential within our ancient civilizations and ancient empires, oftentimes there is a fear. It's dealing with egos, dealing with pride, dealing with emotions, things that have been unmastered. Okay. These things that have been unmastered. Okay. But when you come in dealing with nature, nature shows you that anybody can have a role of leadership, even an animal. If you watch the baboon closely enough, you will learn something from it. Huh? If you watch a turtle long enough, you'll learn something from a turtle. Hmm? Leadership role is not based upon gender. It's not based upon ethnic background. Obviously, it's not based upon or limited to humanity. Okay? So we have to begin to take a deeper look and to obtain a deeper understanding, to see the real beauty of things. Um, and as I stated, before, um, this energy, the electromagnetic energy that has been used to bring Osiris back to life is the great mother resurrecting, because the man is dead. The male leader has died. He's on the ground, he's dead. Okay? But as I stated, the compassion, the nature of the great mother is the essence of life, to breathe life. So this is what she does. Okay. So we have a lot of negative energy towards women being in leadership roles, and women having the ability to be in power, or lack thereof, the inability to be in power as a result of being fear in the weak, because the strong respects the strong. Okay, the strong gonna roll with the strong. Okay, but the weak is of the weak. It's afraid. It's something that it's fearful of. Okay, it's afraid. So one thing we have to get beyond is some of our fears. Okay, it has hindered the progress of humanity's growth. It has in so many ways, economically, spiritually, metaphysically, astronomically, scientifically, kinetically, geographically. We have limited ourselves based upon our emotions and our lack of understanding. Okay. Um, but those are some of the things that we wanted to touch on when it comes down to um, the resurrection of Osiris and the the great mother, who is held in the highest regards in the church, because the Pope takes an annual trip to go kiss the feet of the great mother. That is a tradition that was taught to them by um, the ancient Nubians, the ancient Cushites. Okay, this was something that was taught to various cultures, and some of it is still being held in the highest regards right now to this day. Okay, when other cultures are frowning upon some of the ancient teachings. All right, so we have to be clear on what's going on in our modern day society and some of the similarities in what's going on right now today. And as I stated, the cover up of the worship of the Great Mother, and this is one of the reasons why the Great Mother was smiled upon, and she was so loved. Even when you look at the story of Jesus, and he loved Mary Magdalene, and he loved was loved by the mother. This is one of the reasons why the mother is revered and held in the highest regards, because she took everything in her, all of the energy she had and life itself, and she attempted to transform and transfer that energy into her lifeless beloved, to bring him back to um, uh, the spiritual and the metaphysical realm. And as I stated before, it's a lot of things that are being covered up in regards to the worship of the Great Mother. Because what we have to understand and learn is at the base of at the base of every major pyramid, some of the greatest and the most profound wonders across the planet still right now today have them baffled and behooved. At the base of that pyramid lies the chamber of the queens, the Great Mother. When we talk about going to space, we start talking about that mothership. You know, all right. Let's be honest here. When we talk about going into another world and emerging into a new dimension, we start talking about the mothership. It's no different than the womb. The baby is forming in the life. You feel the kicks, you feel the movement as the baby grows. Your body changes, things about you change. Your breasts swell, your feet swell, your face swell, you eat more, you sleep a lot, you know. Uh, you do a lot of things that you were not normally doing, because your body is preparing itself. When your breast starts swelling up when you're pregnant, your body is preparing itself for the baby. It's preparing itself to feed the baby. The baby got it soon. So it's beautiful how the body is preparing itself before the baby has even arrived. See, that's what the essence of the great mother presence does. It thinks and acts and begins to move and formulate and evolve and transform itself and prepare and arrive for that great golden egg, that hatching. Okay. And then this egg, this golden seed comes out. And when it comes out, it's new, it merges and everything to it's new. It's hearing all of these noises and it's strange. It doesn't know all of these noises, all these lights in its face, its legs and arms. I never knew I had legs and arms that could reach this far, and it's just kicking and it's moving around. And then the mama, they hand the baby to the mother, and the baby hears them, and the baby's crying and moving around, getting adjusted to its new environment. But when the baby hears the, the voice of the beloved great mother, it turns its head. It looks around. It doesn't know which direction, but it knows the sound of that voice. That voice that has been grooming in its and telling it, oh, I can't wait to come out. I can't wait to see what you look like. Rubbing it in warmth. And then you rub it on one side, and then the baby, you can feel the baby start bunching over in that side. Now it's out. And it hears that voice. It doesn't recognize anything in that delivery room. The nurse looked at the, oh, he's so fine. He starts hollering. He pees on the nurse. Soon as she look over his face, first he looking at these lights and they shining in his eyes. He can't get adjusted. Then the nurse comes stand over him. Say, oh, he's so handsome. He cries and he pees. Oh my goodness. Oh, moments that are unforgettable. Okay, for the nurse, for the baby, he doesn't know, but these are the moments that'll never be forgotten. Okay, now they wrap him up, make him warm because he's cold. He used to being all warm and in the water and everything, but now he's cold. They got him on this table, all these lights shining in his eyes, all these funny looking people. Then the mom over there with her legs wide open, her hair standing on her head. She breathing all hard, sweating. But she was in pain just a minute ago. She was hollering and screaming. But when that baby came flying up out of there, that mothership flew, that spaceship came flying. She forgot all about that pain. That pain went flying out the window. You don't even think about that anymore. All you thinking about is I want to see it. Let me let me look at it. So they wrap him up, make him all warm and cuddly, and then they bring him over to you, and you looking at him, he crying and he moving around in a little blanket, and he, but then you say, oh, you, you're so fine. And he hears the sound of your voice and he starts looking around, moving his head like he knows something. It's like he done been here before, but he ain't sure. And then he, it kind of wiggles a little bit, and then you give him a little kiss, you peck him, you peck him. He feels the peck, and he don't want no peck. He wants some milk. And remember, the breast has already prepared itself. Even if your hair standing up on top of your head, your robe ain't right in the hospital. Even if the doctor stood down there between your legs, that breast is ready. It's nice and ready for that baby. All he need is the nipple in his mouth. He gonna get the suckling, and you ain't got to worry about him no more. Okay? You got him now. He is in a sense of comfort, honey. He's in a sense of comfort. He got that breast, that titty milk in his mouth. He over there sucking. He don't know nothing too much about sucking, but he getting his mouth wiggling, and then when he get latch on, you think he got teeth. You think that sucker got teeth up in there. You got to look. Or you think he got you think he got gator jaws in there. But he ain't got no teeth. He got to get himself, used to it. And he latches on, He get to suck, and he suck, and you looking at him as he suck, and you kiss him, and he feels you. He moving his head around, but he ain't letting he ain't letting that ninny go. He ain't letting that nipple go. Oh, and then when he hit it, daddy. Oh, the pappy. Oh, when he hit that bass. Hey, baby. Hey, son. He get to look at it. He ain't show. He heard you before, but he ain't really sure about you. He likes you. Cause he know he done heard you before. But he on the mama. He know that voice right there for sure. He know it, and then she got some nutrients. Oh goodness. Oh, oh my goodness. Well, we gonna end the live right there with the suckling. And we gonna bring it back to you with the breast milk. We got to get back on that titty milk because some of y'all still sucking on that titty milk right now. You done changed and transferred from your mama titty milk to your woman titty milk. But that's another segment. Hotel peace, love you, and I'ma holler back. Keep your head up.